Throughout human history, progress has never been a straight line. Every great invention, every bold discovery, and every leap of innovation was built upon a mountain of failures. Yet in the modern world, failure has become something people try to avoid, hide, or feel ashamed of. We live in a society that celebrates success but forgets to honor the struggle behind it. Elon Musk, one of the most influential innovators of our time, completely rewrites that script. He doesn't just accept failure, he embraces it. For him, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success itself. To understand Musk's philosophy is to understand why failure is necessary. Elon Musk's journey is a living example of this belief. From his early ventures like Zip2 and PayPal to his daring missions with Tesla, SpaceX, and beyond, Musk has encountered failure more times than most people could endure. Yet each time, instead of giving up, he used those failures as fuel to move forward. In his mind, every mistake is a test, every collapse a lesson, and every setback a step closer to something extraordinary. His story reveals that failure, when approached with the right mindset, becomes a powerful teacher. When Elon Musk launched SpaceX in 2002, he wasn't entering a safe or predictable industry. He was stepping into a field dominated by billion-dollar government agencies where even the smallest error could cost millions or lives. Many people called him insane. They said private space travel was impossible. And in the beginning, it looked like they were right. SpaceX's first 3 rocket launches ended in complete failure. 3 times, millions of dollars exploded in the sky. For most people, that would have been the end. Investors left, the media mocked him, and bankruptcy loomed just ahead. Yet, Musk didn't stop. He gathered his exhausted team, analyzed every detail of what went wrong, and said, "Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you're not innovating. Enough." That 4th launch succeeded. It was the moment SpaceX proved the impossible could be done. What makes Musk's mindset different is not that he likes failure, it's that he respects it. He understands that innovation doesn't happen in comfort zones. Every failure is a data point, an experiment that teaches what doesn't work so you can find what does. In his world, fear of failure is more dangerous than failure itself. Because when people are afraid to fail, they stop trying new things. They stop experimenting, stop questioning, stop dreaming. And that's where real progress dies. This philosophy comes from something deeply logical and deeply human. Musk believes that learning is not a straight line, but a loop. You try, fail, learn, and try again. The faster you go through that loop, the faster you grow. In Silicon Valley, this is called the fail fast mindset. But Musk takes it further. He doesn't just fail fast, he fails forward. Every setback is used as a springboard toward the next experiment. He once said, "If you're trying to create something revolutionary, you have to accept that most of what you attempt will fail. That's the only way to find the few things that truly work." Let's go back to the early days of Tesla. Before Tesla became the world's most valuable car company, it was on the verge of collapse more than once. In 2008, while SpaceX was struggling to survive, Tesla faced production delays, funding shortages, and fierce skepticism. Critics laughed at the idea of electric cars competing with giants like Ford or General Motors. Even Musk's closest allies questioned his judgment. He was weeks away from losing everything. Yet instead of retreating, he invested his own remaining fortune into Tesla to keep it alive. He took the ultimate risk, betting his last resources on what others called a doomed idea. And that decision changed history. For Musk, the logic was simple. You can't reach Mars if you're afraid of crashing on the way. You can't build the future if you're unwilling to break the patterns of the past. He often says, when something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. That sentence captures the heart of his philosophy. It's not blind optimism. It's a calculated courage. He doesn't ignore the risk of failure. He acknowledges it and still moves forward. Failure, for Musk, is not a wall. It's a mirror. It reflects what's missing, what's broken, what needs to evolve. When a rocket explodes or a car design fails, he doesn't blame luck or circumstances. He dissects the error. He studies it like a scientist, searching for truth hidden inside the wreckage. He transforms failure from a source of shame into a source of clarity. In that sense, Musk doesn't fail. He learns. And learning, for him, is the real definition of progress. This philosophy has a powerful effect on the teams that work under him. Musk creates a culture where experimentation is encouraged and mistakes are seen as milestones. Engineers at SpaceX and Tesla often describe how failure is treated not as a punishment, but as a process. Each prototype that fails brings them closer to success. This mindset eliminates fear and replaces it with curiosity. Instead of asking, "What if we fail?" the question becomes, "What can we learn if we try?" That subtle shift changes everything. It frees the mind from hesitation and opens the door to genuine creativity. But behind Musk's bold attitude lies a deep sense of purpose. Failure, in his eyes, is justified only when it leads to something greater, something that moves humanity forward. He doesn't take risks for the sake of fame or ego. He takes them because he believes the future demands it. Reusable rockets, sustainable energy, multi-planetary life. These are not just business ideas. They are missions that require courage on a level few possess. Musk's willingness to fail publicly, repeatedly, and spectacularly comes from his conviction that the rewards are worth it. He once said, "I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right." It's a declaration of faith in human potential. To decode Musk's "failure is necessary" philosophy, we must also understand his view of time. Musk operates with a long-term vision. He doesn't measure success by quarterly profits or short-term praise. He measures it by decades, by impact, by legacy. When you think in long time frames, failure loses its sting. A failed test today is just one step in a much larger journey. It's not the end. It's just a page in a longer story. This perspective allows him to take risks others wouldn't dare to take. Because while others fear the fall, he's already imagining the climb that follows. Musk's approach is both scientific and philosophical. Scientifically, he treats failure as an experiment. Philosophically, he sees it as a test of character. Every failure demands patience, resilience, and self-belief. Those who cannot handle failure are rarely capable of achieving greatness. He has said that entrepreneurship is like chewing glass while staring into the abyss. It's painful, uncertain, and often lonely. But those who keep going, who learn from the pain instead of running from it, eventually find clarity and strength. There's another dimension to Musk's philosophy, the emotional one. Many people imagine him as a machine-like genius, immune to fear or doubt. But Musk has openly admitted that failure hurts. Each setback takes an emotional toll. Yet he also knows that emotional pain is part of growth. The difference is that he doesn't let that pain control him. He transforms it into momentum. This emotional resilience, the ability to stay calm and focused amid chaos, is one of his greatest strengths. It's what allows him to take massive risks while others freeze in fear. If we apply this mindset to our own lives, we can see how powerful it is. Most people avoid failure because they confuse it with defeat. They think, failing means they are not good enough. But Musk's philosophy teaches us that failure is not personal. It's informational. It's feedback. It's a guide showing us where to improve. The moment we stop fearing it, we start mastering it. Every great success, from inventors to artists to athletes, follows this same pattern. Try, fail, learn, repeat. The difference between the average and the extraordinary is not talent or luck, it's persistence. When Musk says failure is necessary, he's really saying that growth requires courage. The courage to face uncertainty, the courage to be wrong, the courage to look foolish before becoming brilliant. He knows that behind every world-changing invention lies a trail of broken prototypes. Behind every major victory lies a collection of quiet defeats. But those defeats are not signs of weakness. They're proof of effort. They show that someone dared to try. It's no surprise that Musk often compares innovation to survival. Humanity itself has evolved through trial and error. Nature fails constantly. Species adapt, change, and evolve through mistakes. If failure is natural in evolution, why should it be unnatural in creation? Musk's vision for the future, from colonizing Mars to revolutionizing transportation, depends on embracing that same evolutionary logic. Test, fail, learn, adapt, repeat. It's the cycle that has built civilizations and will carry us into the stars. But Musk's message goes even deeper. Failure is necessary is not just about science or business. It's a philosophy for life. It reminds us that our own personal growth, emotional, intellectual, spiritual, depends on how we handle failure. Every broken plan, every missed opportunity, every rejection carries a lesson. If we respond with fear, we stagnate. If we respond with reflection, we evolve. Musk's life demonstrates that the biggest risks often lead to the biggest rewards, not because they guarantee success, but because they force us to grow beyond our limits. There's a moment in every great story when the hero fails, when everything seems lost. That's the turning point. That's where true character is forged. For Musk, those moments happen publicly, in front of millions of people. Yet he never hides. He stands up, studies the wreckage, and says, "Let's try again." That's what makes him different. That's what makes his story not just a business story, but a human one. In the end, Musk's philosophy isn't just about rockets or electric cars. It's about the spirit of exploration itself, the belief that progress demands risk, and risk demands courage. His message to the world is simple but profound. If you want to change the world, you must be willing to fail, again and again, until you succeed. Because every failure, properly understood, is not a step backward, but a step forward. It's not an obstacle, but an invitation. It's not the end. It's the beginning of wisdom. So the next time you face a setback, remember this: failure doesn't define you. Your response to it does. Elon Musk's journey proves that the people who achieve the impossible are not those who never fail, but those who never stop learning. In the ashes of failure lies the blueprint of greatness, and those who have the courage to rise from those ashes again and again will ultimately shape the future, just as Musk is doing today.